Good afternoon, everyone. Futures Brizio here. It is 4:20 on Saturday, August 31st. Hope everybody's doing great, and I apologize for being away for a couple of weeks. I think I mentioned on a previous video recently that I was moving, and I did move, and so that's why I've been away. I haven't been really on the charts all that much, and not really trading all that much, but I'm not fully settled into the new locale, but I'm getting there enough where at least I have my computer hooked up. So, anyways, I'll make this pretty short. Just want to run through what I'm seeing potentially for next week on some of these charts, and we'll go from there. So before we get started, as always, smash the like button. And if you're just finding the channel, click subscribe and ring that bell notification so you get notified when I post new content. And that would be great. I appreciate that. All right, so let's just jump right in. So let's talk about, this is the ES, the S&P 500 futures. And this is the 4-hour chart. You can see really, unless you're scalping, day trading, this market has been doing nothing. It's been going sideways since since about the 19th of August. So like the last 2 weeks basically, it hasn't really done anything. Now, obviously you can trade this in between this range. I don't really like to do that. I like to trade trends, and this is obviously not a trend. But it's a trend on a short time frame. So if you're trading on the 5-minute, then certainly there was probably some room to trade this. But just stepping out and taking a look at the higher picture here. This is the 12-hour chart. You can see we're kind of stuck right here. So honestly, I really have not done much trading this because I just don't like this at all. When I look to the left here, and just to look at the chart, I mean, we do have this little potential imbalance area right here, which does line up with where price is right now. So I do have this blue arrow drawn in here because I do think that this potential that if we stay contained in here, this is eventually going to roll over and go down. And if it does, I feel like there's an imbalance area, another imbalance area down here. So that's really what I'm looking at right now. But I don't really like this at all. Here's the hourly chart. You can see again, it's just bouncing in between this range. So we'll see it. But if this gets contained and we can break lower and come through this range and probably take out this swing low right here, then I do think that this area down in here is a good target, which again represents a little bit of imbalance here on the 4-hour chart. And on the higher time frames here, there's some imbalance right here that probably needs to be filled in. Yeah. So, but anyways, not a great one. So I'm looking at this, but I'm not spending a lot of time with it. I can tell you that. So, and if it does break higher, we do have this contract high up here. So it really wouldn't go very far before it would run into this contract high, which it could just blow right through there. But again, the ES is not particularly clear, so unless you're scalping it or, micro day trading it on a short time frame, probably not a lot here. So, okay, so this is copper, and with copper, so you can see I'm in a short position right now from about this level right here, and I do have these zones drawn in right here. I do think copper will try to make a run down into this area. There's some imbalance down in here. And so, and you can see on the higher time frame, we're still in a downtrend, even though we did previously take out this structure right here with basically we had a couple of 12-hour candles close over that, but you can see we had this big bearish engulfing candle right here that broke lower, and we tried to go higher, and then it looks like maybe we're forming like a head and shoulders here. We've got this as like the left shoulder, and this is the right shoulder, and here's the head up here. And so I can zoom in a little bit. That, you know, we're potentially looking at a head and shoulders pattern right here. Okay, and you know, we are technically still in a downtrend. This swing high over here is really the major swing, which we're nowhere near that. So, but you can see that potentially what I've got drawn in here is both scenarios. So if this breaks lower, if this is a head and shoulders and we're going to break lower, okay, so if we took out this structure right here, all right, so we took out this high over here, right, with this high. So if this is basically a break and retest, then essentially what we're going to see is what you see with these arrows, where price will come down, we'll retest this original breakout zone, whether it's here or even a little bit lower, and then it will break and go higher with, you know, a target maybe being back at this bigger swing high up here, okay? So either way, what I'm thinking is that we'll probably see a move down and then a bounce higher. But so, you know, I'm in this short right now, and assuming this plays out, then, you know, I probably will look to target, again, back down into this kind of congestion and breakout area here where the market kind of moves sideways, and then we have this big candle breakout right here. Have it come back, retest this zone right here. And then if this breakout above this high ends up playing out, you know, where we broke out from here to here, then after this retest, it'll go higher. So that's what I'm thinking with copper right now. But on the other hand, this downtrend could just continue, and this could just blow right through here and go down and make new lows. That's fine too. But either way, I think in the short term, we're going down. It's just more about the mid to longer term. Are we going to go down and then break higher, or are we just going to keep going down? But at least in the short term, I'm bearish on this market. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at in copper. Okay, natural gas. So I am currently long this, which is not a good trade, and I will be closing this. No, excuse me. I'm short this. I'm short. I should be long, and I don't know why I took this short, to be honest with you. But you can see that we came down. Let's go to the 12-hour. We have this low down here, with this contract low down here. Price broke higher, took out structure, took out this swing structure. This is the 12-hour chart. And then we failed from this swing right here. Okay, but we took out this one, but we failed from this one. We went down, retested, back down, and now we've come back down to this breakout point. So now we've retested this breakout point here on the 12-hour chart to be basically, if you want to call it, a demand area. And you can see we had, you know, at least that. I'm in basically, even if you go down to the short time frames, it does look like we want to go higher. So here was that rejection off this 12-hour level down here. We went up, came down, rejected it again, broke higher, took out structure, and then we kind of consolidated, broke lower again. This is basically just corrective, and now you can see we're moving higher. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be closing this trade as soon as the market reopens. I don't have a big position on here, so I'm not too worried about it. And then I probably will look for longs. And then for the longs, you know, so we've got this congestion area right here. You know, we've got this area kind of sitting right here where prices kind of like hit several times. I do think if price comes back up here again, it will blow right through here. This is more of like a retail area selling off of these highs in here. But now that price has gone down, retested the zone, I think if it comes back up here again, it probably will go right through it. You know, it might run into a little selling pressure again, but I don't think it'll get caught up here again. I think it probably will see a bullish candle pop right through here, take out this high. And if that happens, then I'm looking at potentially highs way back up here, back up into this area up here. It's a little hard to get a reading on the price action because this is the October contract, so you can see there's not really much price action here. But I do think this area up in here, which represents basically a supply area that price probably needs to revisit, would be a great target. And, and that obviously would be a monster trade, even if that's as far as it went. So again, longer term, we have a bounce off of a major support level or major demand level. Several attempts to go lower rejected, and so now hopefully it will go higher. So again, if that holds, then natural gas I'm bullish on. And then lastly, on crude oil, I'm not in any trade on this. This has been really ugly. If we go to the 12-hour chart, we can just see we've just had these huge swings here since the beginning, late July here. We put in this low, we ran way up, came back down, retested this area again, went up, failed to make a new high, came back down again, and now we're retesting this area. So I do think this is going to go higher. If we zoom down to a little bit lower price, there's probably, a little demand area right in here because we've already mitigated this area down here. So I don't think, So I think now we potentially have a corrective action here where price is coming back down and retesting this breakout here on the you can't really see it on this time frame. Right here on this 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart, you kind of see this little congestion area where price came up, kind of, chopped around and then boom, broke higher, and we're back down to that area again. So maybe we go a little deeper into this zone. I don't know. But from here, you can see I have this arrow drawn to potentially go higher. So even though this is not an easy market to call right now just because of this wild price action on the higher time frames, overall I'm bullish on crude oil. And so if that holds true, I'll be looking for potential long entries next week. If we can get some follow through off this zone right here to go higher, and if that's the case, then a good target would at least be back to these highs or these highs, if not even further back up the food chain here. We've already kind of mitigated this area up here with this retracement. So we have this contract high up here, which has not been revisited. So potentially, if this does break higher, we could go all the way back up here to about the 82 zone, $82 zone up here. So we'll see what happens. If we get a breakout to the upside, that would be my target, and I'd probably be looking to hold this more long term. So yeah, so that's it. So that's what I'm looking for into next week. So again, natural gas and crude oil potentially higher, copper potentially lower on the short term and then higher, and the S&P 500, if this current area holds, then a break lower back down to these previous supply breakout areas, a little bit lower on the chart. So but that's what I'm looking at. All right, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. As always, again, please smash that like button. Questions, comments, leave them down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're just finding it.